Okay, let's unpack this. There's just so much happening in the world of blockchain and digital finance. It really can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose, can it? New tech, new platforms, new jargon.
Yeah.
Seems like it pops up every other day. But what if there was maybe a shortcut? A way to get genuinely well informed on some really intriguing developments without, drowning in all the details. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something called the Metal blockchain, our mission here, to explore how it functions as a foundational layer zero. That's kind of the base layer, and how it supports various layer one virtual machines, and why this whole setup, this architecture, is being talked about as the potential digital banking network of the future. What I found really interesting from our sources was this central metaphor they use. Imagine a blockchain where you actually get to pick and choose the best environment for whatever you want to build. Kind of like selecting your favorite snack from a vending machine.
That is a great way to put it, yeah. A powerful metaphor. And what's fascinating here truly is how this layer zero approach fundamentally changes the landscape. It provides this crucial connective tissue that's arguably been missing in the blockchain world. It's not just some minor technical detail. It's really a profound shift in how secure, scalable, and ultimately, mainstream financial applications can actually be built.
That's a critical distinction to make right off the bat. So let's start there. Let's clarify Metal blockchain's core identity. It's not just another layer one chain, not like Ethereum or Solana that most people might know. Our sources describe it as a layer zero platform, designed specifically to host multiple layer one blockchains, each running on its own virtual machine. That's a huge architectural difference, right?
It absolutely is. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, this is precisely where that vending machine analogy really shines. The layer zero, it handles all the underlying consensus mechanisms. Think of those as the core rules, ensuring everyone agrees, ensuring security across every layer one it hosts. It's like a central nervous system for all the apps built on top. So this means the heavy lifting, the security, the core infrastructure, that's all handled at the base layer, which frees up developers on those layer ones to just innovate, without needing to build their own consensus from scratch every time.
And it's important to place it too, right? Within the broader Metallicus ecosystem, they seem to have this really ambitious goal, bridging what they call legacy finance with the world of decentralized tech.
Well, that's the real game changer, isn't it? Bridging that gap, that's been the blockchain industry's biggest hurdle for a long time. It's really where the rubber meets the road for mainstream adoption, especially when we talk about bringing traditional financial institutions into this whole space.
Precisely. Which brings us to the core question, I think, for anyone listening. What does all this mean for you and for the future of digital banking? Why does this layer zero approach even matter?
And this raises a really important question, How does abstracting that consensus layer, or basically separating the core agreement process from the applications themselves, how does that enable a more secure and adaptable future for financial services? Well, a layer zero architecture like Metal blockchain provides some really critical advantages. First, you get seamless interoperability between the chains it hosts. That solves a major pain point in the current blockchain world, which is often quite fragmented. Think of it like building a financial internet where, ideally, every app speaks the same basic language, cuts development time, opens up totally new cross-chain possibilities. Second, it allows for custom VM deployment, so tailored use cases. This offers incredible flexibility for developers and businesses. They pick the environment they need. Third, it provides scalable infrastructure that's actually suitable for, let's say, financial-grade applications. And that is absolutely crucial if traditional finance is going to adopt this stuff.
Right, that's...
Exactly. We're talking about the speed, the reliability needed for high-volume transactions, real-time settlements. Things that traditional banking just demands. It pushes blockchain beyond just, niche applications. And finally, maybe most importantly for adoption, it facilitates regulatory-friendly environments, makes real-world integration much easier. That's been a massive hurdle, historically, for mainstream blockchain use.
That point about regulatory-friendly environments is really fascinating. It almost makes you wonder, are we finally seeing a viable path for blockchain to enter the mainstream beyond just speculative assets? Is this the kind of infrastructure needed?
I think it's a significant step in that direction, absolutely. It's not just about ticking compliance boxes. It's about building trust and familiarity within the existing financial frameworks.
Right. So if Metal blockchain is this amazing vending machine for blockchain environments, what kinds of options does it actually stock? What can you build by picking one of these flavors, as we call them? Our sources highlight a few different virtual machines, VMs, which let developers build on frameworks they might already know, but now with this robust layer 0 underneath.
Exactly. It's about providing the right tool for the right job. It accelerates innovation because developers can leverage familiar frameworks, but they also get all the benefits of that underlying layer 0 we discussed.
All right, let's run through them. First up, the XPR Antelope VM. This one's powered by Proton, known for high throughput and low latency blockchain performance. Now, when we say high throughput and low latency, what that translates to is, processing potentially thousands of transactions per second with near instant finality, which is absolutely critical for financial apps and just for a smooth user experience, frankly. So this makes it ideal for things needing super fast transactions, easy user onboarding, that kind of thing. Okay, next, they offer the SYS Pulse VM. This one's described a bit differently, more like a specialized environment, potentially tailored specifically for things like identity, compliance, or even institutional DeFi, which is, decentralized finance, but built with the tough requirements of traditional financial institutions in mind. So, best for maybe more robust financial products, digital ID systems, regulated blockchain use cases. And here's a little fun fact from the source material. The image file name they use suggests this Pulse VM might be tied to developments by someone named James Barnett. Interesting little tidbit. And then, for anyone deep in the crypto world already, there's the EVM Ethereum VM. This is a fully Ethereum-compatible virtual machine, which is huge, right? Because it means developers can basically take existing Ethereum smart contracts and deploy them directly onto Metal's infrastructure, which promises to be faster and cheaper. So you get all that familiar Ethereum functionality, but hopefully with the performance boost from Metal's Layer 0.
And offering this diverse set, it isn't just about having options for options' sake. It's clearly a strategic move. By supporting these distinct VMs, Antelope for speed, Pulse perhaps for compliance, EVM for familiarity, Metal Blockchain is trying to foster a broad ecosystem, one where developers can pick the precise environment that really aligns with their project-specific needs, whether that's speed or fitting into regulations or just leveraging existing Ethereum code in communities. It should accelerate development and definitely broadens the appeal to different kinds of builders out there.
Yeah, that comic-style depiction we mentioned earlier, the one showing the Layer 0 vending machine, it's more than just a cool graphic, isn't it? It feels like a really powerful metaphor for what they're trying to do. It visually captures how Metal Blockchain seems to be positioning itself right at the core of financial innovation.
Precisely. It is fundamentally about bridging those two worlds, traditional financial systems and this cutting-edge Web3 technology. It's about creating that solid foundation where complex financial applications can actually thrive with the security, the speed, and the regulatory compliance that's frankly been quite challenging to achieve at scale on other platforms.
So bring it back to the listener. What's the relevance, the application of knowing all this for you? Well, it seems to point towards a future for how we interact with money, with digital assets, a future that promises to be more integrated, hopefully more efficient, and ideally far more user-friendly, all built on this kind of robust, flexible infrastructure that can actually adapt as needs evolve. This deep dive into Metal Blockchain, it really does highlight how these foundational layers, these layer zeros, are kind of quietly revolutionizing the digital landscape. It makes you wonder, though, with these vending machines now for entire blockchain environments, what's next? What will be the next layer of innovation we need? Maybe something to connect all these evolving systems even better, or perhaps something to simplify them even further for, true mass adoption.
That's a great question. There's always more to learn, definitely. And understanding these foundational shifts, like layer zeros, is really key, I think, to truly grasping where finance and technology might be heading. It's all about building bridges, isn't it? One layer at a time.
Absolutely. Well, if you're intrigued and maybe ready to metaphorically select your layer 1 or just learn more about the tools potentially powering tomorrow's decentralized economy, our sources say you can explore further at metalblockchain.org.